Well, hey, good evening, good Tuesday evening to you guys. Sorry for the little bit of lateness. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Tuesday night thing, the thing that we do on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is one of those days that I could never quite get the hang of, but I'm here to tell you, streaming with you guys makes it just a little bit better. So we had a lot of fun last night. We just kind of BS'd. We sort of hung out, caught you guys up on what was happening. And then after that live stream, I went and played my Monday night first edition AD&D game with a great group of people. Love them all so much. Well, I have good gaming groups regardless. I gotta be 100% honest with you. Okay. Um, my whether we're talking about tonight's AD&D game or Friday night's first edition Gamma World game that I live stream with you guys, or the quote unquote private stream on Monday nights, I just feel lucky, you know. I just feel lucky because I'm able to have such good people. I mean, maybe the reason that I kind of scratch my head when people talk about, oh, you've got to have session zero and you've got to, you've got to sniff people out and this, that, and the other is I've always had a good people radar in that sense for gaming. So I feel kind of fortunate in that respect that I have a pretty good group of of uh of folks to game with. And Monday nights are Tuesday nights, and Friday nights are no exception. I mean, and let's just break it down to the simplest components, right? You're here because you want to talk about classic Dungeons and Dragons. I'm here to talk about classic Dungeons and Dragons and classic role-playing games in general. So from where I'm sitting, there are no incompatibilities. It's not just hanging a sign in a GameStop window and saying, I got a game, stop by. No, it's a common thing that we all like, and we all kind of uh, sort of hone in on. So there really are no incompatibilities, right? We all have a good time. Now, casting a broad net to bring in lots of gamers, that can be kind of fraught with peril. And I know, believe me, you know, in the worst of the lockdowns and the thou shalt not gather in groups mandates of the past couple of years, I really there's something I just kind of uh I expounded on a lot, and I really I still feel like this is a thing, okay? Because the Andromeda strain broke a lot of people. I mean, I don't want to talk about the specifics of how person A feels or anything like that, but there's a lot of people who, God bless them, they feel like, well, we can never go back to normal. That's just a thing in the past. What about the next one? What about the next variant? And unfortunately, that means that there's a lot of people whose gaming groups took a smashing blow, and they'll not be able to you know keep on with their groups. Their groups were broken 2 years ago right now. Their gaming groups, whether they're playing classic D&D, modern D&D, anything in between, or some game completely differently. And I know a lot of people out there were hurting because of that. And the thing that I said then, and I say it now, and I think it's just as vital now, particularly when we're talking about, you know, the aforementioned folks who maybe just they don't want to run the risk. I'm not gonna my game table, my den, my house, whatever is not going to be a super spreader for the next event. So, I'll live my life that way. Yes, Michael, game shops were devastated. So the message is the same from me. You don't have to stop gaming. I bitch about the user interfaces, but honestly, Discord, Roll20, those are the great saviors. And even if you're like, look, I don't want to use Discord, I don't want to use Roll20, there's Zoom, there's like Facebook group chat. You can make a group phone call, and you don't need this. You don't need a studio. You need a device that can connect to the internet. That's it. That's all you need. If a member of the Monday night group, or even this group on Tuesday night, the Friday night Gamma World gang, if any of them said, oh man, I can't really get on the internet, I would jump through hoops to help them get on the internet. And you should too. You should reach out. If you know somebody who's like, man, I haven't gamed in 2 years and I can't because of Andromeda strain, my FLGS packed up and left town, and things were, things are just wiped out, and I can't, I can't find a group anymore. Look on Roll20. You can search for games on Roll20 and ask to join them. Or you can get your whole group on. Like, if you're other players, if nobody wants to step up and run a game and you're not the game master type, and I understand it's not for everyone. And your regular GM is like, oh man, I'm not doing that virtual tabletop thing. You don't have to suffer. And you don't need a studio. You don't need a 4K digital camera. You don't need lights. You don't need a boom mic. All you need is a want and a desire to game. And you can do it. You can find out all the answers across the internet. The answers have gotten more prevalent since 2020. I can tell you that much. And if you can't figure out how to do it, ask me. People have asked me, like, oh man, okay, Bill, you talked about this and you said I could ask you, how do I do this? Boom, there you go. And I've sent people to the right places and then come back and said, thank God, man, you saved our group, or you saved me as far as gaming goes. As far as gaming goes, I should add that when I say you saved me. I'm not like, breaking open a burning house with a fire axe and dragging people out, or grabbing the controls of a airplane that's going down. I made people's lives a little bit more fun. I'll say that. And that ultimately is what you should do. If you have the knowledge and somebody is out there and they're foundering, give them a hand. Point them at this channel. I mean, we are currently sitting at let me see. If any of you guys know off the top of your heads, I haven't even looked at it today. I've been so busy. My knees bent running about. But the channel, 959. We picked up another sub. We are 41 subscribers away from the great underground online gaming convention. The Guac. 959. Yep, James and I caught it at exactly the same time. I saw your message there, buddy. 959 subs on this channel. 41 subs away from 1,000. Now, If you happen to be subscriber number 959 and you came here through chance, not through coercion or persuasion, let me tell you what that means. When this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I am going to host a virtual gaming convention. Look, no merch, no gold passes, no tiers of games, just a schedule over a weekend this spring. And I think it'll be this spring. I don't think it's going to take until the summer. Well, we're going to play the best of classic RPGs and plus some other stuff that other people have decided they want to run also. So as for myself, see, I just thought we'll have a games day, a mini-con games day. I'll start at noon. I'll go till midnight. I'll run a few sessions. But to quote the master, it is a tale that has grown in the telling. Hey, Jack. Now you can't do that, man. You got it. Come on. You got to keep it legit, bro. Over there, priming the pump. Jack Photon is. Friday before we have our Animal World game, we're going to have a very special mail call, Friday mail call. I know it's usually Monday mail call, but we're going to have Friday mail call. There goes the light. Those are getting, by the way, I'm buying dummies for those this week. So no more like, why did the lighting change? Why is he making jokes about playing Baker Street? Yeah, so the lights will become consistent. But so Friday, so Jack Photon sent me some really cool Star Trek rules that they're like based on classic Star Trek and Foss's Star Trek, and I'm really looking forward to digging into those. It's a passion project of his, so it's not something you can run out and buy. I don't know if Jack's going to make those publicly available. Maybe he can tell us in the chat there. But yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to look at those books. Not obligated. Look, people send in cool stuff to the show, and cool stuff gets put on the air. I got from Doomsword Deathmaster. He made a 3D mini in Hero Forge and then downloaded the STL and printed it up himself, which is not. I mean, it's his jam. That's cool. It's not a terribly efficient way to get minis because it's still I think it runs like $25. Like, you know, you're not gonna. Well, I mean, you could build, I think, a bunch of orcs. Like if you already have a printer, you could build like an orc or a few different poses of orcs, grab a few STLs, and over time build a lot of minis with your printer or print a lot of minis. Oh, very cool, Jack. He'll have the PDFs out there. So what you guys will see Friday, it's gonna be very cool. But yeah, to get the STL stereolithography files. Oh no, they're very cheap. Okay, he just messaged me. There, it's $7.99. So it's $7.99. So yeah, no, you could build some orcs. You could go in and you could build 3 or 4 different poses of orcs. And then if you've got a 3D printer, like a resin 3D printer, just, oh, how many orcs? Let's see. It's 30 to 300 orcs, I believe, is the amount in AD&D that can appear. Well, let's just plan for that. And you can print 300 of them. I mean, there's a point where it just starts costing you like pennies. That'd be a hell of a lot of painting. Michael says, my brother-in-law prints goblins for his Warhammer Fantasy Army. Good. Good. I actively encourage people printing minis for Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer 40K or any other Games Workshop product. You see an army, you have a 3D printer, a resin 3D printer, or even a resin and an FDM printer. Go out there and find the versions of them that people have done for free and print them and play with them there. Do not give your money to Games Workshop. I have expressed my feelings on this before. Look, I am all about supporting creators. Games Workshop are IP thieves. They are IP thieves. They steal IP and then they market it back as their own stuff. I mean, I was on the live stream the last time I was on the live stream with Ty Beard. He and I were talking about how cool the towel looked, and I was like, "Yeah, Ty, but they stole the look of the towel from Roger Dean's cover of Astra by Asia, the prog rock band, and from a video game called Bradicus that came out in the mid 1980s. And I linked a couple of images in the chat, and he looked at him and just busted out laughing. He's like, "Oh my God, they did! They stole the entire look." They stole their base ideas from Tolkien, from Moorcock. I mean, Space Marines. That's from E. Doc Smith. Not even you don't you can just jump straight over Heinlein and leap all the way back into like the 1930s for armored fighting suit spacemen, Space Marines, before you even get to Starship Troopers. So yeah, but I don't want to get off on a I don't want to get off on a anti-DW rant tonight. Well, I mean, not tonight. I will at some point again in the future. You guys know I will. That's what I do. But let's see. But anyway, but what I do want to talk about, I'm just trying to bring this up here. Just trying to pull this up. So I was talking while I'm bringing this up. I was talking earlier about you know what we're gonna do on the Great Games Day. So I will be running games all weekend long. OD&D, AD&D, Twilight 2000, Tales from the Loop. I know that's a new game, but it's got an old school vibe and I like it. I'll be doing all of that. And then we've got other game masters who are going to run other things. Got Milhailo, a buddy of mine from Serbia, will be jumping in to run some DCC. I think he said he was going to run some DCC. We got folks just champing in the bit to run some basic experts, Moldvay basic expert. What else? Kyle will run some of his awesome action combat oriented RPG conflict. Paul Stormberg. Ooh, I can't wait to see what Paul Stormberg's going to run for us. So that if you're coming in as a new subscription, as a new subscriber, that's what we're striving towards. That's what we're 41 subs away from getting. And I am so excited. I am so excited about the opportunities that's going to give us. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to play some AD&D tonight. And I'm stoked. I'm hyped. I'm with it. I'm hip. let's see. All right, so I want to. I kind of want to get this out of the way because primarily it's a very cool thing, and secondarily because I said in the video description that I would tell you guys how last night's game went down. So I want to catch y'all up. Y'all ready for that summary? All 5 of you out there in the audience. No, I am so surprised these days. Like usually about the time I'm ready to wind up, I've got like 13 or 14 people on the stream, and that's so awesome. You guys, you make me feel so good with that. It's a little dopamine release. It's like they like my show. They like my live stream. Yay! And I'll tell you guys a cool thing that I think I mentioned cracking the code on photogrammetry yesterday, but if I didn't, I'll tell you about that. If somebody can remember whether or not I said that, maybe just put it over in the chat over here. See, I'm gesturing over here, which is on my right, but it's on your left anyway. In the chat over here. So let's see. When we left off last week, the party had entered the inner sphere. No Battletech fans. They weren't driving Warhammers and Marauders. Sorry. They had entered the inner sphere. On an alabaster slab at its nadir, they saw a beauty clad in black armor, whose details were picked out in silver and chased in gold, lying as if she were asleep. A huge bastard sword lay on her breast. And they cautiously approached her. And as they did, she awoke, smiled sweetly, beckoned them down, and when they got within arm's length of her, the sword leaped into her hands, and she immediately set about attacking the party cleric, Brand Grayson, driving the length of the sword into him, spilling his blood. Yet, amazingly, he still lived. And so the battle against Drelzna was joined. And that's where we pick up this week. The vampiress cackled madly as she stabbed Brand over and over, his lifeblood staining the curved wall of the sphere. No one save the front ranks could see what was happening below. Grindel readied another brace of quarrels, while Caerleon tried to fend off the vampire's further attacks on Brand. Unable to join the battle from his position, Rabindranath began a song of combat, further exhorting the party to greater deeds. The cleric did not quail as he summoned a flame strike from the ring of spell storing and blasted the female undead. She screamed hatefully and then again tried to eviscerate him. Jane broke ranks and leaped into the pit, knocking aside the screen which shattered on the stone dais at the nadir below. Petra sounded her horn of Valhalla. In the corridor, 3 berserks were summoned, and she ordered them to go down and attack the deadly creature. Both of Grindel's arrows missed, but Logan the ranger, equipped with his slippers of spider climbing, ran down the curve of the wall and thrust his spear at Drelzna, causing her some injury. Nearly as quickly as their blows fell on her, she seemed to heal. Yet, despite the presence of many enemies striking from all sides, she focused her attention on Brand, seeking to slay him. Jane swung her mighty magic battle axe true, smashing into Drelzna. Alindra had moved forward, and drawing her magic bow, fired her arrows, which too struck home. Grindel loosed another pair of quarrels, which did likewise wound her. Her next flurry of blows missed Brand, and again, using a second ring, he immolated her with another flame strike. The rain of steel and spell were too much for Drelzna, and all she wore carried collapsed into smoke, which seeped into the alabaster slab. The party took stock of the situation. Brand healed himself as best he could, and there was some discussion. Now, this At this juncture, the party knew that Drelzna was not slain nor even driven away, but merely gathering her strength again. They knew that she had vanished somewhere into the void beneath the slab, and that indeed might be where her coffin lay. They heaved the alabaster slab off the top of the plinth, and within was not a coffin, but what appeared to be a brass cage stuffed with a king's ransom in jewels. They carefully felt and groped around the inside of the coffin and discovered that this was a false bottom. A faint, barely discernible lip lined the inside of the lid of the plinth, and they discovered that they could move the inner lining out. Sorry, I lost my place. Petra moved the brass cage out of the way. Its treasures would have to wait, but as soon as she touched it, there was a sickening trilling in the air. And appearing, standing in the open space, was a horrible archvile. It turned and focused its attention on Caerleon. It summoned forth a column of flame which smote the paladin. She cried out in pain as a series of blows landed on the archvile. It began again to cast its horrible flame spell, but before it could unleash another, a rain of magic missiles, arrows, bolts, and sword blows slew it. It cried out in anguish and collapsed into a fetid heap of disgusting flesh, which quickly faded away. Here now the adventurers knew that Drelzna must lay within. They lifted the inner liner out, taking care not to touch any of the valuable treasures within the chamber. And once this was removed, they saw the coffin of Drelzna. Likewise in the chamber lay 7 books, 6 of them large leather-bound tomes, one indistinguishable from the other, but the 7th was bound in brass and silver and sealed. Could this be the Demonomicon of Igwilv? Casting Unseen Servant, Etho moved the volumes out of the way. Petra readied a wooden stake, and the lid was pulled aside. And truly, lying there in the coffin was the form of the vampiress, healing up. She looked at Petra with pleading gaze and said, "Please, please don't let them kill me. I'm under a curse. I don't want to do this." The warrior maiden was unswayed. She reached back to strike home with the stake, but perhaps it was her moment's hesitation at hearing the honeyed words of the vampiress. Her stroke went wide, and laughing again, the vampire leaped into the air, straight to the top of the sphere, where she stood on the curved ceiling. Damning them all, she readied another attack. Brand Grayson held up his holy symbol, but she was unswayed. However, at that moment, it was the paladin Caerleon who held aloft her holy symbol. This made the vampiress quail, and shrieking maledictions, she flew out of the sphere over the heads of those still in the hall like a bolt of lightning. The group knew that they might only have moments to act. So they summoned up the strength to gather up all of the valuable treasures in the room, the bowl of gems, the carpets, the sculptures, everything they could, and fled the chamber and the caverns. Once they'd established a safe base camp within the Daern's instant fortress carried by Caerleon outside of the caverns, it was here that Brand lit his candle of invocation. And it was here that he cast a commune spell and asked, "Is this the Demonomicon of Igwilv we hold?" And the answer burned into his brain from supernatural powers. Yes. Rabindranath was able to focus his bardic learning and able to identify one of the other 6 volumes as a manual of quickness of action. If the other volumes were of similar nature, then this indeed was a prize beyond measure. Knowing that they had only delayed the vampire and not destroyed it, and that she might seek revenge on the party, but also feeling as though the caves were well and truly looted of their most valuable holdings, the group made ready on the following day to return home. First, to retrieve their men-at-arms, and then to return to the city of Greyhawk. And that is where we leave it. So I hope you guys were as entertained by that as I was entertained myself writing it. Now, that's not the end of the updates, and that's not the end of the campaign. This is just another chapter in the ongoing campaign. And, I wish I'd been documenting this better. I originally started doing just brief write-ups of previous week's events for the group when we would have people out. We hit a couple of weeks where there were enough people who weren't there that just saying, yeah, you guys have moved. You know how you were over in the big, it looked like a cathedral area? Well, you fought some goblins in a cave, a natural cave that was behind and sort of under it. And now you're on the shore of a big underground lake. We'd have weeks where, I mean, at the time I had 14 people in the game. So there were weeks where people couldn't make it. So in catching folks up, I started writing up more and more detailed descriptions of what had gone on. And so, by the end of it, I was writing short stories out of it. But unfortunately, not like, let's see, 5 years worth of game. There's 5 years of history long before I started doing these write-ups. And if I went back and tried to recall every happening and going on, I would be very busy. It would pretty much take up all of my spare time trying to put together what happened on which session. Suffice to say, those of you who've been listening and enjoying, you kind of jumped in media res, as has the rest of the world. Because these players, all of these characters, well, many of these characters, I should say, started out at first level. Most of these characters actually started out at first level, come to think on it. Let's see. When you talk about casualties in the party, only one character hasn't died at all. Poor Dan, Dan McDougall, is on his 5th character, I think. He had a ranger cleric, a half-elven ranger. Well, no. He had a half-orc fighter who died rather ignominiously to some shadows. Then he had his brother. He rolled up his brother after he died. And I was like, okay, you've been looking for your brother. You hear about these adventurers. They're exploring this old ruin. You wend your way there and you hear the sound of combat from somewhere within the ruins. I draw my weapon and I rush forward, and he says, I'm so-and-so, brother of Gom Kranesh, and I am here to avenge him. And was slain in the first round of combat. So that was when he rolled up Denval Serpenthelm, his half-elven ranger cleric, and ran him for a while. But realizing that he couldn't level any further, he decided to start running a dual-classed human cleric magic user who left off clericing at 5th level to become a 1st level magic user. So basically he's a 5-1 when he started this game. Jeremy ran a cleric. I can't remember. I think Palor. He ran a cleric of Palor until he was squished in half by a boring beetle. Mark, I can't remember. Jeff came in as a magic user, Jagu, who was disintegrated by a beholder. I believe James came in as Brand, but I could be wrong about that. Alan Grohe, Grodog, he's been on the channel before. Alan, I'm trying to remember the name of his elf character. Alan's elf did die, but I believe it was a rod of resurrection that brought him back. And an NPC to whom he had become romantically entangled basically said, babe, that's it. You're not adventuring anymore. Your life is far too valuable. So that was a magic user character who retired. And then Alan is now playing Caerleon, the paladin. Wow. That's a lot of character deaths. It's a lot of character deaths in that game. So Jack Photon says, good stuff all around. I wish I kept more detailed notes so I could turn it all into prose now. We had some great stories and characters that would sell just as good groups do. Yeah, I think there's probably more than a few campaigns out there that have been run that really would have made good reading. Now, I've read a lot of people's games write-ups, and they've said, "Oh, isn't this awesome?" Like, yeah, it's not bad. Trying to be polite. Trying to be polite about it. But sorry, I got a message there. Hello, Damien. Good to see you. 4 characters in one night. Yes. That's pretty good numbers. But no, I've read a lot of people's game write-ups that have been like just as dull as stereo instructions, just fantasy stereo instructions. But I have also read some that I was just like, this is better than any dime store pulp fantasy that I have read just about ever. I read one for a campaign that's like, it ran for like 11 years. Tales of Wire, not Wire, Wyre. And you'd have to go looking for it. But this guy started his campaign somewhere in first edition, in first edition AD&D back in the 90s, and it ran up. I think 2014 was the last time he posted anything about it, but he edition hopped all the way through, and it was a damn interesting read, and it kicked off just because of one little idea that he had, and I stole that idea slightly. I will admit to that. And it was a phenomenal read. That's not my goal. Like I could not, if somebody goes back to Reddit where I started posting these, and read them, and they come away with the same feeling of, wow, mind blown, this is great, that's awesome. But this guy who wrote these stories is on a completely different level from what I'm doing. I mean, he's like actually taking in-game stuff and turning it into prose. I'm prosifying in-game stuff. There's a difference. I know it sounds weird, but there is a difference. Oh, that is correct, Michael Connor. The Wild Card series by George R. R. Martin did start as a Supers game. I can't remember if it was Hero System or if it was GURPS Supers, but I do know at some point they switched to a homebrew game, to like a homebrew rule system that George R. R. Martin started. Because all my opinions about his opinions about Tolkien, and all that aside, I don't deny that the guy is sharp. He's very sharp. His the Song of Fire and Ice is written on a piece of software that he wrote that only runs under DOS. So he wrote his own word processor and writes a Song of Fire and Ice on it on a DOS PC. Jack says, the best story can be ruined in the telling, so writing solid fiction ain't easy at all. No, it's not. No, it's not. And that's why when I say that there's people out there who have great campaigns that would be fun to read, I tend to think I've very rarely played in what I would characterize as a bad game that somebody's run. But that does not mean in the least that those people are good writers, because they're probably not. So lots of people can be great DMs, GMs, referees, callers, call it what you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're good writers of prose, myself included. Okay, like if you guys like what I read, the little write-ups of adventures that I read, then that's awesome. But I like, I could not take these to a book company, to a publisher, and say, hey, I have the next great fantasy heartbreaker. You know, it's going to blow A Song of Fire and Ice out of the road. They're going to, you know, here's our rejection form letter. Thank you. Have a nice day. So I just like to put a little bit of dramatic flair, so I'm not like. And then Jeff rolled a d20. He missed. So we went over to Dan, who cast Magic Missile, but the creature made its magic resistance. But the holy water that Petra threw hit because she rolled a 19, and then it was dead. They got 25 gold pieces, and a locket that they will check out later. They move forward, and it took 2 turns. So I like to throw a little bit of flair into it, so it's not just that. And I think the guys on, because I email this to the group because occasionally there's folks that can't make it, and there's a couple of people who've left the group, but they like getting the updates and they like knowing what's going on in the game. Thank you, Michael. Wasn't GURPS. You know, they've left the game and they like getting the updates too. So I try and make it something a little pulpy, a little bit enjoyable. There's a little bit of, game mechanics will seep in. Missed their saving throw, took 24 points of damage. I'll catch myself putting stuff like that in there sometimes. But I would never offer this up to a publisher and say, hey, this should be a novel. Why aren't you publishing it? Why isn't this like going into the printing press as we speak? I just, to quote the great sage, man's got to know his limitations. And so I just, I just try and keep it as enjoyable as possible, but I harbor no illusions about myself being a fantasy author. I think everybody enjoys it. Witness all the crap for TV for proof, crap on TV for proof. It's easy to get crap greenlit for TV, movies, and games, though, so go figure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Who knows? Maybe if I approached Viacom with this with this stack of notes, they'd take it and run with it. I'm not gonna try. It's it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna break my arm patting myself on the back that hard. So we are about 10 minutes away now from starting the Monday night AD&D game, which is not a bunch of written up drama. It's drama that you guys watch and you see happen. So I'm going to take a few moments here because I want to take a moment to thank everyone. I said that like this week I'm going to be getting some better lights in here. I may end up keeping these lights, but getting dummies to plug into them so the batteries don't croak on me. I may get altogether different lights, but I'm able to do that because of some awesome people who contribute to the show on Patreon. Now, I love all of you guys, regardless of whether you're sub to the channel on the Discord, and you contribute to the Patreon. You guys are all awesome. Every one of you. These guys I'd like to take a moment to thank personally. Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Joseph Lucas, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damian X247, James F. Keck and his whole observatory, William, not me, Smith, the Dungeon Minister, and the great Manny Wall of China. I know he's not from China. But I just, I really appreciate it, guys. I do. If you want to contribute to Patreon, that's cool. The link's down there. You can check me out, and you can do that. Another example of bad is Amazon is full of RPG lit novels, either fantasy or sci-fi with a glaze of RPG elements, and all play out the same way. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. And self-publishing through Amazon, put your book up for 99 cents and just write up your game sessions and polish it up a little bit. My problem is how much of it belongs to Amazon and at what point do they bring the hammer down and say, oh no, that's our property now. That belongs to us. And you're going to keep writing more, or we'll just take it from you. But yeah, there are a ton of those. So tomorrow, Kyle Schuant will be here, and we will be doing a great Q&A for just about anything you've got questions on, but also about Classic Traveler. If you have Classic Traveler questions, just any kind of Q&A you want to do, we're going to do it tomorrow. Thursday, I believe, now I've got to confirm this, and if it doesn't happen this week, it will happen. But Thursday, we will have author and wargamer Michael C. in the house. Michael is a very, very gifted author who is working on a Cold War gone hot story set in 1987. And it does not steer away from political realities of the time. Let's just say that. So when he talks about the American president, it's not just some fictional like President Jack Johnson. No, he's talking about Reagan and Thatcher. The Soviet side is a little, well, I'll let him tell you about that. So he's going to be here. We're going to talk about gaming, and we're going to talk about his novel. And if he wants to, maybe we can kind of talk about things and how that's impacting his novel, things that are going on right now, but only if he wants to. Friday is Gamma World. That's right. Friday, we'll be back with another open Q&A fun time, and then we'll play some Gamma World on Friday night. I'll see if I can squish another character in a security door for you guys. Next week on the 10th, we will have in the house RPG Elite will be here. And we're going to have a Q&A with him. He's got a YouTube channel. He has some fantastic content. I've been super excited about having RPG Elite on the show. So he's going to be here. And I'm looking forward to that. So RPG Elite will be in the house next week. And then the following week, we just keep on keeping on. Now, one other announcement before we get going is we are coming up on the 2nd year anniversary of this madness that we call the Delver's Dungeon. So what I am thinking, and the closer we draw to it, the more I think it's going to be a reality, is on the 19th, which is a Saturday, I am going to do an all-day live stream. I will be on all day, and I will open up the live stream to some special guests who can come on and talk about whatever gaming related with you guys, with me. It's going to be a lot easier than it was like the first time, but we're going to culminate that with a very special guest. With a very special guest indeed. And you'll want to be here for that. If you hadn't heard me talk about it beforehand, well, then, it's a surprise. All day, that's right. Hey, you know what? Nick Ricada did like a 24-hour live stream for his first year. I mean, he and his buddy Drexel, he hung out 24 hours. There's no way on earth I could do that. I could not swing that if I wanted to, but I'm going to talk to some folks. I'm going to see if some folks will come on, and I'll see if I can get some guests on and that sort of thing. That's the level of planning and forethought I put into this. I'll see if I can get some people on, and it's like 2 weeks from now. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. But one thing I can guarantee is you won't want to miss the last hour or so of the show. Unfortunately, If you only watch on Facebook, you will miss the last portion of the show because Facebook only allows 8-hour streams. YouTube doesn't give a damn. I can just point a camera at the wall and leave it running. And YouTube will just be like, okay, I'll just let you stream. Just how it, don't fill up our hard drives, bro. But yeah, Facebook will cut me off after 8 hours. So it may be that I start on YouTube, and then if it's possible to add the Facebook stream after the 4-hour mark so people on Facebook don't miss the end of the show, I'll do that. Michael Connor, Drexel took... Yeah, Drexel went out. Drexel went upstairs and slept for like 3 or 4 hours the morning of the stream. I remember that. But anyway, so that is happening on the 19th, and I'm hyped about it. I hope you're hyped about it. All right. Well, I've run my mouth enough, but I'm going to continue to run it some more. So, without further ado, let's welcome our players to the front room. Doomsword, Lord Corion, James F. Keck, Mark, and Sir Average himself. Let me put my headphones on so I can hear you. Are you there, fine adventurers?
Hello.
Here.
Greetings to you all.
How's everyone?
Wonderful.
All right. So when we last left our intrepid adventurers, you had hacked your way through a group of orcs and forced some into a pit, which I have to hand it to you for your mercy. You didn't just throw them into the pit. You lowered them into the pit. And let me see here. I'm going to bring up the... Is the camera looking the right way? The camera is not even on. Hold on a second. Let me get the... see what's happening here with my camera. Here we go. Well, there's the business end of it that goes in the computer, so I can at least answer as to why that's not working. But anyway, what are your intentions, adventurers?
I think we got to figure out what we're doing with the orcs.
Well, as I recall, you guys had lowered them into the pit. The 8 by 10 by 10 pit trap, which I will indicate here on the map for you momentarily. As quick as I can get the camera going. See, I cleaned up, so now I can't find anything. But just before the entrance to the Orc's lair. Now, if that's not what you're doing, don't let me, the Dungeon Master, tell you what you're doing. It's up to you guys.
That's what I remember us doing. And Jeanin was unconscious for a little bit, but maybe he got better.
Yes, Jeanin is currently knocked unconscious. And let's see here.
For the love of Christ. Okay. Did we get loot? I just realized I was on mute the whole time. That was my fault.
Yeah, I believe we were going to check the bodies and the lair and everything after we got these survivors lowered into the pit.
Well, I'm going to presume it doesn't take 5 monkeys to lower 2 other monkeys into a pit. So I guess I'll start searching bodies then.
Yeah. Magibus does too.
Same.
Oh God! Eventually, we're going to be left with 1 monkey lowering 2 monkeys, and the and the orcs will take a break for it. Oh God!
I guess I'm lowering monkeys in a pit then, just to avoid that from happening.
Oh my goodness!
Valoric is tending to Jeanin, make sure he's okay.
I think I was all healed, just unconscious for a while because I went negative a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're looting bodies, not Jean's body, all the others.
Clarification important.
Ooh, look
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
map.
Small clarification, not Jean's.
Look at all this treasure.
Well, they had some nice equipment on them. Well, if he's unconscious, we need to get him up out of the well, or do we need to just dump some cold water on him?
Just smack him around a little bit, he'll wake up.
Kick him.
Okay, so you will have to give him some time to
Recover.
regain consciousness, but that will require healing. Can anyone heal him?
Well,
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
already received healing, right?
Yeah, I think he was back to full health almost. If not,
Okay.
he was just still unconscious from the smack he took.
Mm-hmm.
And not the smack you guys were adding to him.
I mean, I have a water skin. We can just dump that over his head. That should help,
Yeah.
right?
I got the backup ice bucket challenge too.
Hell, you start bringing ice into a D&D economy. You should quit adventuring and just open a shop. Make it killing.
Well, isn't that the end goal of this? Is get enough starting capital to make our fantasy cafe?
Definitely.
I think my previous character threatened to retire after something like that. Yes, I know. Wait, that was Sir Average.
No, that was his strategy. He should have retired. He had good amount of cash.
Yeah.
I could have bought a farm. Instead, I spent it on plate mail.
Yes, and
And
training.
leveling. Yep.
Hey, you spend our money on training.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm
Gina needs to make
slowly
sure Sir Average stays alive just long enough to pay him back. Then it doesn't matter.
slowly paying you back. It's okay. I mean, if that's the incentive, I'll just pay you back slower. It'll be fine.
Or just leave that last gold piece hanging.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You get $5.99.99 back.
Okay, I am unfortunately still having problems with the desktop camera, so we're going to have to go theater of the mind right now, guys. Until or unless somebody wants to donate another 4K camera. Just kidding, don't do that. I mean, you can if you want to. All right, so before you, I can at least see it. Aren't you glad you sent me that miniature Doom sword on the night that my camera's not working right?
It's all good.
I'll have it set up next week. I'll share some pictures on the Discord if you don't mind. But so straight ahead of you, you have the corridor. The pit is right in front of you. The rather forlorn but happy to be alive orcs. Approximately 40 feet east of that, you have the door that you forced your way through and an antechamber just beyond that door. And then you've got, well, space beyond that because orcs keep coming out of there, and you're pretty sure they're not teleporting to fight your party. So what will you do? And Gina, yes, you are awake now. The bell ringing that you suffered has been cured.
Oh, damn. There goes my plan.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Huzzah.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
Well, I guess let's go back to, because we left them. We originally had barred a really big door and then ran for our lives. So I guess first order of business will be to go back to that door.
Yeah, it's down that corridor.
Yeah.
Past the alcoves. There's a room, and we barred a door.
Well, it's no longer. It's probably in pieces now.
Yeah. It's not barred anymore. But that's where we left off, was that door. We shut it while we tried to loot, and then ran off.
So do we have like a marching order or something?
Jaden's in front.
You're in front. You're in front again.
Well, I think the two of us are in front.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you want to be in front, Turgo, feel free.
Well, I mention it because I have some ability to stay hidden and silent.
That's a good point. Not used to that.
Yeah. Our last one died.
You could go ahead, and if things are bad, you'll scream, and we'll hear it and know what to do.
Early warning system.
Isn't that how our first thief died and our second thief died? You drinking a vial of poison?
That was the cleric that drank the
Yeah,
milk.
the cleric
Ah,
did that.
yes. Okay, sorry. It was the thief with the door. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Turgo, in front in some way, some distance.
Yeah, maybe 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
Enough to, keep noise from affecting whatever opportunity for supplies we might have.
Geenan and Sir Average.
Mhm.
I
I'm
guess.
not sure if that's going to come into focus at all. It doesn't look like it.
Throw a hand behind it.
There we go.
Hey,
Hey, that worked.
The lovely miniature done by Doomsword. So Turgo is taking the point. Refresh my memory. How many men-at-arms do you have with you, adventurers?
One.
Yeah.
Alice.
She still can't find Wonderland.
And before we leave this chamber, did we loot the bodies yet, or did you get that figured
Yeah,
out?
we did that, but we haven't been given loot yet.
Okay.
Okay, so the number of orcs that you felled,
9.
9. Yes, they, I believe, let me see.
I think.
That's what my notes say.
This will all be either silver or electrum that you're finding on them. Even the largest of them, I'm guessing you picked the pockets of the ones that you threw in the pit.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
All right. I mean, I shouldn't give players ideas like that. Viewers and audience, don't ever do what I just did. Don't say, "Oh, I'm assuming that you guys did this." No, don't do that for your players. That was
Hey, we players give you ideas of how to kill us all the time, so it's only fair.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a fair
kind
trade.
of, but I was going to kill you anyway. So, so yes, it is. There's 9 of them. It is electrum. You come up with a total of 57 electrum.
Has anyone here seen Samurai Champloo?
That's
There's a marvelous scene where they shake down a group of gangsters, and Mugen makes them, one of the main characters, Mugen makes them jump because they turned out their pockets and handed them only like pocket change, like lint, and he makes one of them jump, and so he jingles.
Okay.
I
So you have 54 electrum.
57, I believe.
57.
57 electrum. That, by the way, is that's about 5 pounds of coins. Just letting you know.
Geenan takes it,
All right.
puts it in his pack.
Geenan, you are not encumbered yet, but I'm just saying. I mean, 5 pounds of change is not inconsiderable. Take your pennies jar from your from your den and carry it in a rucksack all day, and you'll feel it. Just saying.
If I was 1860 strength like Geenan, I may not notice.
Yeah. Indeed. So
As opposed to my 8 or so. that I'm currently at.
yeah. All right. So you're moving forward.
Yep.
Yeah, and I assume for something like this, as long as it's not going to slow everybody down too much, or they don't mind, that I'll generally try to move silently.
Okay.
And hopefully check for traps. Don't try to find the traps like the dwarf did.
I tried to find them. I just found them with my butt. It's fine.
Nobody has the 10-foot pole, huh?
Yeah.
There's only 1 in 4 chance for those to work.
Yeah.
Hey, any player can find traps. Any player.
At least
can find
once.
traps. At least once. Finding traps is easy. Avoiding traps, nah, that's the trick. So you are moving silently, yes? Or trying to move silently?
Yes.
Okay. A little scuff here and again on the floor as you walk forward, but you think you're more or less keeping quiet. I won't be so cruel as to say, haha, you didn't detect the big pit in front of you, so...
Well,
I
I
think we'll
suppose
warn
I
them
should
about
say
that.
I look down and up and side to side as I proceed.
All right. Now, for the sake of convenience for both our audience and our players, generally, and I do this in home games, I do this in event games, when I have Dwarven Forge out, just to save wear and tear on the minis and save time, I will use a miniature as a guidon. And since the thief is in the lead, then that's the mini I'll use. But the party is assumed to be marching. How far ahead are you going of the party?
I was thinking maybe 10 feet. Hopefully far enough that that there's not a lot of noise in my immediate vicinity. I don't know if it takes more than 10 feet.
10 feet, there is a lot of noise in your immediate vicinity.
Right.
Clank, 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 chank, chank, clank, clank.
The
What would it be,
minimum, I
about
think, is
20?
60.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's 30 is a bare minimum, but
Yeah.
it's more like 60.
Right. How about we split the difference, maybe 45 feet?
Okay.
The important part is you're within screaming range.
Right.
All right, we're going to tie this rope around your waist, and if we feel one pull, it's pull you back. Two pulls, everything's okay, and one long, violent pull where the rope shakes and then goes limp. Turn and run.
Doesn't everyone walk their thief with a leash?
All right.
Now, some of us use the orcs we have in a pit trap. All right, just walk forward along this hallway. We'll let you go.
Okay. So as you can see, you and the viewers can see there's a door on the far end of the antechamber. As you walk forward, what will you do? What will you do?
I'll move in a couple of feet and motion for everybody and wait for them.
Okay.
Let's move up.
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen all this before. Keep going.
Yeah.
Now, it's my understanding that you are waiting for them to close up the distance like that.
Yeah. I
Okay.
figured I'd step maybe forward, 5 feet or so,
Okay.
to allow them to start to make their way into the room.
Alrighty. So we're once again going on to the guidon mode, with the entire party being indicated by the thief's miniature there. So what will you do? There's a closed door at the end of the chamber yonder.
I suppose I'll listen at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Shall we try to open it up?
Yeah, I'll step out of the way.
Okay.
Yep.
Jaden steps up, tries to muscle that door out of the way.
All right. Give me a open doors roll, please.
A 3, and I open
nice.
doors of 1 to 4.
Great.
Nice.
You wrench it open. There is a sort of a twang and you feel something heavy slam you in the chest.
Oh boy.
Of course.
All right. You are knocked backwards off your feet, and your chest is full of holes. You take 2, 1, 1. You take 4 points of damage.
Ow.
A spiked green board was held back, and when you pulled the door open, it sprang forward and slapped you in the chest, and the end of the board was full of nails and broken blades and bits of glass and so on. Just be thankful you weren't a halfling, or you would have taken that in the face.
Turgo, next time I suggest I open the door, you remember to say, "Let me check for traps."
I'll make sure to remember that.
Please remember that.
My apologies.
We're probably going to go into a battle, I'm assuming. I'm already very hurt.
The door is open now, by the way.
Jeanin, how about I open the door next time?
Sure.
Then you can catch it in the face.
Well, no, this will be after the thief searches. But yes, worst comes to worst, if I catch it in the face,
Yeah.
4 points isn't going to mean I'm mostly dead.
The two rogues here have just both done their detect trap skill very well. One pit trap, one spike trap. We're done.
Indeed.
Valor,
dwarf.
go ahead and do Cure Light Wounds real quick.
Thank you.
While he's doing that, I take a peek into the next room.
All right.
Yep.
This is actually a very short access corridor. Let me, I'm actually going to have to move the camera around. You guys have gotten in kind of far into the dungeon. Let me do that.
Makes it down one hallway and one room, and he says we've gotten kind of far.
Yep. He didn't expect
That
us
was
to
one
get this
hall.
far.
Yeah. That was one hallway and one room more than he thought we'd make it through.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find better positioning for the camera for both you guys and our viewers.
I vote that we pay.
That's a little better.
I vote that we pay to get Bill a gimbal that he can just set up and hang over the table. What do you think?
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm entirely okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, stream, everybody, you know what to do. Everybody throw Bill $5. Let's get him a gimbal.
I'll be honest. If I was going to ask for donations, and I'm not, I would I would wait to see what my poor doggy's eye is fixing to cost me, but that's for another discussion. Okay, so yeah, I have tripods and boom mounts and everything else in the world for cameras. So, all right, there's a short connecting corridor there that angles to the it looks like the northeast.
Valoric was going to heal Jeanin.
Yeah.
Valoric, roll a d8 to see how many
I
points.
did. I got an 8.
An 8. There you go.
Full up. Thank you.
Awesome.
Sir Average, would you like to go first?
I'm going to push the thief in front of me, and then I'll go second.
All right, so
I'll proceed very carefully. I don't like the looks of this.
Actually, probably be grab, pull, and then push. But yeah, same thing.
all right, so opening to the immediate north, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can light that up a bit with the laser pointer for you. Just there. There is a door, a closed door that leads to the north.
Check for traps.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a good look at it. around the edges, and of course on the front, make sure there's not another one of the same boards,
All right.
and kind of look toward the bottom and see if I see anything.
You do not detect any traps.
Looks clear.
Does it sound clear?
I'll listen.
Only the faint crunching of earwigs do you hear.
Okay. It's a D6 to open doors, right?
It is.
Well, shit. I open doors in a 1 through 4, I presume, because I have gauntlets, and I rolled a 6.
Hang on a second. That's not to say you can't try again, by the way.
I don't know. It's just a really bad show for... Nope. All right, somebody else do it.
Yeah,
Gina will step up. I'll show you how it's
tries
done.
twice.
And when Gina opens it, he will be cautious and like stand to one side. And I rolled a 3 again. I'm like, eh.
I wasted 2 6s.
Yeah.
I wasted 2.
And also, whoever is on the other side of this door definitely knows we're here now. The trap went off. We rattled this door like several times before we could open it.
Oh, and by the way, there was I think there was some question about this, or I recall some question about it. Your open doors is 1 to 5. Gauntlets of Ogre Power are 18 double-aught strength.
Thank you. Well, that's what I didn't know if we were counting my strength as 1899, 18 double-aught, or what.
18 double-aught. Your character does not know that these are Gauntlets of Ogre Power, but
Correct.
I mean, they're doing tremendous feats. So, or I guess they go on your hands, so they're doing tremendous hands, not feats.
Boots of Ogre Power would be weird.
Best drop
Kick you
tool
indoors.
ever.
Yeah, you kick stuff.
Boots of Elvenkind, Gauntlets of Ogre Power. You just wouldn't know what you were. All right, so Gina, you drag the door open.
And I'm ducking out of the way in case there's another trap.
Give me a saving throw versus Dragon's Breath, please. Or saving throw versus Breath Weapon. I'll be decent about it.
I just made it.
Okay, you have the foresight to maybe duck behind the door as you're opening it, however you do it. On the far side of the door, there is some kind of contraption made out of hastily nailed together planks, and on that are several jars of some kind that were being held back by the door or by some mechanism, and they all come rolling down and smash on the floor. And there is, in the entire crawl space, a great conflagration of burning, but you do not take damage. However,
It tastes like burning.
what is Gina's dex, please?
Gina's dex is 17.
17. So you're pretty much on your guard, and you're not surprised by the shouts in Orcish. There they are. Get them. And presumably, since no orcs are coming charging, there is missile fire happening. So what is Jinan doing?
Jinan is right now behind a door. I think he has to get out from behind the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will take out his weapons and step forward or prepare to be attacked. I think he's preparing to receive a charge or something, I guess.
The space between you and whatever this contraption was is now filled with flames. But you do step out from behind the door and ready your weapons. Do you want to move through the flames? You want to stand fast? It's up to you.
I will stand fast.
Okay.
Can he not slam the door shut?
Yeah, really.
Well,
I'll never be able to open it again.
Perhaps he can, but
Can I slam the door shut? While he's getting his weapon out?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, let's roll initiative to see who does what. And since Jeanin is right there, Mark, why don't you go ahead and do that? 3. So before any doors are being slammed shut, arrows are flying out at you. That is a miss. That's a hit.
So 1.
They have to roll like a 19, I think, to hit you or something stupid.
Yeah.
Well, this is AD&D, and something stupid can always happen.
Yep.
And a black fletched orc arrow slams right into your shoulder, almost up to the fletches. You're pretty sure it's coming out your back. You take 6 points of damage.
Ooh.
Oof.
Thunk. The other 2 thud into the door as Average is grinding it shut.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of the way.
So is okay? So you're still conscious then?
Yeah. But he's getting out of the way. Because he's not going to be able to do the fight right now.
In a terrible amount of pain.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move some minis to the appropriate place, because you now hear the hobbed boots of orcs rushing forward.
Does anybody? Okay, so who here has ranged weapons for when I open the door back up?
The Jeebus has the crossbow.
Yeah, I was going to back off to that alcove and ready my short bow whenever I get an opportunity, if I do.
Can you get? Is there a line of sight with that door and all in the way?
But if they come out far enough,
right? They've got to come in.
What if we all just back up into the big room?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Isn't there another pit trap we could set up in front of that?
Bring up the shovels and picks, dig it real quick.
Yeah, really. Give me a team of dwarf engineers. Let's do this. Yeah, James, I think that's a good idea. I think we should just back up into this room.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's the array, and you didn't get much of a peek in the room before the conflagration started. So you're all falling back into the room. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Yep.
Jeanin is falling back with parry in case there are more arrows shooting at me. He's in full defense, but he'll be pulling back into the room.
Okay, so how are you going to be arrayed in the room?
Jeanin's going to be at the back.
Jeanin's going to be at the rear. I understand.
I'm going to hold that door.
Back there with him.
We're the cheerleaders. Go team.
So it's this small room we're looking at, or is it we're going back farther?
No, just this one.
Then I will be on the left, the non-alcove side, on the front line.
Right, and I'll be in the alcove. Try to get some cover from that corner and train my bow on the opening.
So here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's average and don't tell me, not Turgo.
Lynx.
Yeah. So it's both of us on the door then.
And Alice can, if there's enough room, she's there with her short sword and spear.
Oh yeah.
The Jeebus is going to be behind Sir Average. He can shoot over his head with a crossbow.
I'm used to you shooting me in the back of the head at this point. It's fine.
It's thicker back there now, like from all the hits.
I have a permanent dent just right there.
If you can read this, you're aiming low.
I think Sir Average is just going to nail a board to like the back of his head and just wait to hear the thump.
Okay, the door flies open, and leaping through the door are 3 great orcs. They are bigger than any orcs you've ever seen. They're almost as tall as men. They have iron helms and ugly black iron scimitars. They are equipped with shields. These guys look really, really crazy tough. There is a phalanx of orcs with spears behind them, and something larger and darker, you can't exactly make it out, moving effortlessly through the flames behind them, with wings that spread like shadow. Sorry, I would not do that to you guys. I just got done reading The Bridge of Khazad-dûm in my reading Lord of the Rings, so I just thought I'd throw that in to scare you. But no, there is something larger than the orcs and larger than men behind it as they rush into the room. Let me get some orc minis out there.
Valoric, how many more heals can you do?
I think I've got 1 left. I've got that potion of extra healing though. So
good. Okay.
What are you down to?
1.
He'll heal you this round.
Okay.
I should have been adding +3 to my attacks and +6 to damage every time I swung them.
So that will represent the body of orcs that's coming at you. There are more, and I have more miniatures, but that is a very tiny space to try and cram them all in. So they rush in, cursing you all. Let us go ahead and roll initiative, and we will just start at the top. How about Doomsword roll initiative?
4.
Party goes first.
All right.
We
I
doing
cast sword.
ranged first?
I'm sorry, you what?
Are we doing ranged first?
Yes, ranged will go first.
Can I get a shot off at that guy right in front of the door without firing into melee?
No. You will have to fire into melee.
I suppose I'll have to do that.
All right, roll it.
I hit armor class 8.
Your arrow pings off of one of their mail coats to no effect.
Bajiba's got a 13 with his light crossbow.
A 13. Just a moment, please. Let me get over to the tables.
Trying to scroll mine up here.
I'm just gonna copy paste that damn table onto my sheet.
All right. So let's see. 13.
Armor class 7 on mine.
Will hit.
Oh,
Roll your damage.
awesome. If I can do some damage here. Big 3.
All right. Sticks into his bicep. Any more missile fire? Nope. All right. First round of melee attacks, please.
1 takes 14 points of damage.
Ooh.
All right. He bellows in anger and says, "You die next."
Presumably he doesn't he doesn't have an armor class lower than 0.
He does not have an armor class lower than 0. No.
I hit AC 6.
All right, that will hit.
Awesome. All right, well, not with that die. That's going to be an 8.
Wow, you guys are really bringing it home. You're gashing these guys up quite a bit. Anybody else? Any more melee up front? Shall I roll for what's her name? Anne?
Alice.
Alice.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah. Henchman A.
Henchman A. Her blow does not strike true. Counterattacks. All right, let's see. That is a hit on Lynx. For 1.
I like that.
Let's see. Average is armor class 3, yes?
Yep.
All right, that's a hit on Average for 2. I'm slowly climbing up. By the time I get to the 8th attack on you guys, they'll be doing max damage.
The orcs are just revving up.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. This last one is going against Alice. And she has missed. The orcs with the spears in the back. That is a miss. That is a hit. And that is 6 points to... not 6 points, I'm sorry. It's a D6. That is 4 points to Lynx.
All right, I'm down.
Already?
And that is a miss. So Lynx is down. And the orcs are yelling in triumph as they see him slump to the floor. Second missile fire for those of you who have a rate of fire of 2, which I think may just be
short bows.
Yeah, just short bows.
Yep.
You're muted.
I hit armor class 4. Thank you.
That will hit.
These guys are medium sized.
Yes.
2 points of damage.
Okay. And I should point out, these 3 great huge orcs are all, well, 2 of them are looking really bad, but they're still up. Any more missile fire?
Not this round. Valora kills Genin for 5 points.
All right.
And that's all of
My
his
hit points are
spells.
just going up and down, up and down, up and down.
That was all of his spells. So he's always got left the extra healing.
Okay. So Lynx is down. How down are you, Lynx? How many hit points?
Just -1.
Just -1. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in the next round, unless someone intervenes, he will be at -2. So going around. Turgo taking another shot in this round?
Yes.
Lynx, you're going to lie there and bleed.
Yep.
Valoric and Bejeebus.
Valoric's going to try to grab Lynx and drag him back toward the back of the ranks there, and I guess break out the potion of extra healing for him.
Okay.
And then Bejeebus is going to draw his long sword and step up in his place.
Okay. Genin.
Is there room for another person in the front line?
Not at this point, no. Unless you push Bejeebus out of the way.
I will. Hey, pardon me, Sir Bejeebus. May I enter the front? Yes, I will take Bejeebus's place.
Okay.
Okay.
Bejeebus has a crossbow. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to shoot me in the back of the head. Thanks.
I'll get you right between the shoulders. So.
And Average, what is Average doing? Continuing to slice orc?
I cast sword.
You cast sword. Okay. Well, Corian, roll initiative for us while you're rolling on the floor.
2.
The orcs go first.
You're fired.
Not a good thing.
All right. The first attack coming against Genin as you step up in Lynx's place.
Thud.
It's down.
Oh my!
No.
Genin you step forward just in time to be hewn by the scimitar. You take 8 points of damage.
Oh Lordy!
Now I'm at -2.
Does he fall on Lynx so he can?
He does.
But we're stacked up, so you can easily drag us away.
Your dragon links back in Gene and just slumps over.
Yeah.
But Jeebus really wants to fight. Maybe Jeebus really
Against
wants to fight.
Alice. Alice is missed, and this last one is against Valoric, I guess. Or no, I'm sorry.
Average
It's
is there.
against Average. Average is missed. First missile fire, please.
Somebody down one of these mooks.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Oh man.
Twang clatter.
Crossbow?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, a 20.
That will hit.
Wish I could do double damage.
There are 2 injured and 1 uninjured. Which are you firing at? Start softening up the uninjured. Try and finish off the injured.
Yeah.
Focus fire.
Let's take out one of the others.
Okay.
With 3 points.
With 3 points. Okay. So the one that Average is fighting looks absolutely terrible, and the next one along looks pretty bad too. So which of those 2?
One in front of Average.
It drops.
Okay.
Being short has its advantages.
Yes. Oh, and I suppose we should take the 1 in 20 shot. Nope, you do not shoot him in the back of the head instead.
Okay.
Okay, melee attacks from the party. First round of our first melee attacks.
15.
That will hit.
No, total damage.
Oh, all right. You obliterate the second one.
I rolled a 19. I just presumed that hit. So.
Oh yeah. Alice. Oh, she misses. She's slipping in the gore of 2 characters. Is that the end of melee? It is. So second missile fire.
Yeah, that's a hit. Armor class 3.
Okay. Roll your demolish.
There's another wounded one, right?
Yes.
2.
Okay. He takes another wound. He bodily grabs a spear wielding orc and drags him into place of the fallen great orc. So let's go ahead and roll initiative then.
Can I give some healing potions here?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So you're going to give a draft to each character?
Yes. 8 points to Lynx.
Yes.
And 7 to Genin.
All right.
They're
So
probably still down, aren't they?
yeah, you guys will be back up soon. But 7 points to Genin, that puts you at 5, and 8 points to Lynx puts you at 6. You guys will be able to join the fray again.
You're back to full health.
And I'm down to one drop of the extra healing, so that's all I've got left.
I may need that at the end of the fight, but we'll see.
Alrighty then, you guys going to continue to melee. Is missile fire still happening?
Not for Bejeebus. He's going to go ahead and draw his longsword this time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll still shoot.
Okay. Then let's see who is up next. James, roll initiative, please. I know what the orcs are going to do.
4.
But not before you guys do it to them. Missile fire, please.
That's a miss.
All right. First melee from party.
That's a miss.
Okay.
16.
That is a hit. I'll roll for Alice. She misses.
Big 4 points of damage.
Okay. Counterattacks. 3 orcs and 2 orc spearmen with other orcs. You can hear them shouting and yelling behind. So that is a miss. That is a hit on Average. for 7 points of damage.
Okay, I'm going to need that potion now.
And that is a miss on Alice. Second missile fire.
Miss.
All right. Okay, in the new round, party declarations.
I'm going to shoot.
Okay.
Valoric's going to hand the last of the healing potion to Sir Average. And
Just dump it over his head.
Yeah, just feed it. Just feed it to me while I swing.
Uncork it and just pour it over his head.
And then Bejeebus will take another swing.
Okay.
Do I have to drink the potion or can I swing?
You pretty much have to be imbibing the potion right now.
Damn.
Unless Valoric is balming your wounds himself.
Well, he could try.
Feed it to me, damn it.
All right. Mark, I'll give you something to do while you lie there. Roll initiative, because I know what the orcs are about to do.
5.
Yes.
But the party will do it first. Missile fire.
Miss.
All right. First melee from the party.
Big 9 that time. That's a miss.
That is correct.
Oh wait, I'm drinking a potion. That's right. Okay. I get what, D8 back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I now have 2 hit points, guys.
Okay. Hey, you only need 1. Okay. Any other melee? Any at all?
Can Valoric go ahead and take a stab with his short sword?
Alice will swing too, and she misses.
Okay. 14.
That will hit.
Excellent. 3 points.
Okay, on the long-suffering injured one, the uninjured one. Okay, the injured one. That is enough to take him down.
Yeah, excellent.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead then. Second missile fire.
Miss.
Oh, okay, yeah. Orc counter. Oh, that was so close. It rocked over to the 20, but then back over to the 2. So that's a miss. That is a miss. And Alice is struck for 8 points, and Alice goes down.
Oh, no.
She takes a spear to the abdomen, screams in pain, and drops to the floor.
I think we're gonna die on this hill, guys.
Looks like it.
You think you're going to what?
Die on this hill.
No.
It's more of a
Alrighty.
pit trap.
And the core of the next party will be formed, of course, by
The henchmen that are left
will be
behind.
Virgo.
I'm running for
Virgo will
sure.
flee the dungeon and be the leader of the next party and say, well, all right. Let's see here. Okay. I know what the orcs are going to do in the next round. Alice is bleeding out on the floor. Jinan and Lynx. Let's see. You guys are stable. Points. So you could potentially be back in to the fight in a few more rounds. I'm just saying. Let me see here. The hell? There we go. Okay. All right. Is the party standing and fighting?
Can I grab Jinan
and retreat.
Your strength is high enough. You certainly can, if that's what you wish to do.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll back out of the room.
Somebody needs to cover our ass, though.
All right.
You got a priest and an elven fighter mage. That's all.
Good luck, priest. Both each of you grab an unconscious body. Let's go.
All right. So let's see.
Somebody slam the door behind us.
What are Valoric and Bejeebus doing?
I guess Valoric's going to try to grab Lynx, I suppose.
Okay. And Bejeebus?
I guess he'll take up a defense posture and back out swinging. Okay. I don't know what we're going to do with Alice. I don't know if anybody wants to try to grab her or
try and slam the door behind us and let's just go.
Bye, Alice.
Bye, Alice.
We'll have to go hire another Alice.
Sorry, Alice.
Let's see. For you. All right. So, Mark, roll initiative, please.
4.
Okay. You guys start falling back, and the orcs are also falling back.
So means we have them on the run. Engage again, quick!
Lynx is
let him get away.
Lynx is talking in his sleep. He's still unconscious.
Yeah.
After them.
So the orcs
swings in his sleep.
The orcs are fleeing the room. At the same time, you're fleeing the room.
We need to heal up. I think we need to back all the way out and go get some rest.
Can you go grab Alice?
Yeah, Bejeebus, I guess, will grab her and drag her out too.
Okay.
She's still on.
And somebody slam that door after we all get out of there.
Thief, relock it.
Put the trap back on it.
You could do that, right?
Okay.
Just move all the dead bodies in front of it. It'll take a while for it to move.
Put the bodies on the door. Put the bodies on the door.
Hang up the motivational poster. It'll take him 10 minutes to read it.
All right, so you fall back to the main cistern, dragging your wounded and injured with you. The orcs do not seem interested in pursuing. You're back at the mouth of the cistern with your injured, and by the time you get back there, Gina and Lynx, you're feeling sort of groggy, but you're not bleeding everywhere. Your injuries and wounds have been stabilized. The dwarf, Average, is bleeding everywhere, but he's managed to, stuff rags and bits of leather and beeswax and put a finger in places, and he's not completely dead.
I'm carrying Genin, so Genin's finger is like in one of my wounds, and it's just like, no, you can't move. I'm sorry, you can't move yet.
So, with the exception of Alice, by the time you guys make it back out into the into the central cistern, everybody is awake and on their feet, and nothing, to my amazement as a DM, nothing comes looking for you in terms of wandering monsters. So
up,
yeah.
What about these orcs here? We just want to leave them.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back later.
We already looted them.
Maybe we could take a hostage or something and try to parlay with these other ones.
That's not a bad idea.
I parlay with my sword. So if you want to be more diplomatic, feel free.
I don't speak Orcish.
I mean, my way of parlaying with them would be to truncate their bodies and leave their severed heads on pikes for them to find later.
How about you just take the pike
Dead
with the heads into there and see how they react to it? I'll be behind you.
Gina's just holding up his sword, not so clumsy or random as a blaster. All right. Well, sadly, you guys make it. I mean, fortunately, you guys make it out of the dungeon, out into the cold light of day. If the orcs are interested in pursuing you, it is a very slow, long distance pursuit because you do not see or hear them or anything coming up the ropes back out into the courtyard of Castle Greyhawk. There are the half burned down ruins of the quote unquote zombie house off to the left, sickly pale gray sky above you, and the cold winter wind blowing eddies of snow and disturbing the ripples of puddles of slush and freezing cold water on the cobbles of the courtyard. What are you doing?
Hobbling back to the longhouse, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Alice die, or is she? Like,
not if you bound her wounds.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
I think we saved her.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And nothing molests you on your way back to the longhouse. So, dragging yourselves out of the castle, the mocking sound of a crow's caw as you limp out of the gates.
That damn crow.
And you hike overland for about 3/4 of a mile until you come to the longhouse.
Okay.
There, your men-at-arms are still there. They gasp when they see you come in and make way for you in front of the fire's hearth, so at least you can be warm. Alice will not be doing anything for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing, adventurers?
Sleeping for a week.
Yeah, we should probably go back as soon as we can, but it might take a while. Alice will join Leo and Nerm, who are also recuperating for a week-ish, with who did I have? Brad and Dora were watching over them.
Mm-hmm.
Barney and Dora.
All right, so
we're fresh out of hirelings. They're all busy.
Yes, your men-at-arms and women-at-arms are out of the stabbing business for the moment.
By the time we've all recovered, though, are Leo and Nerm back up and ready? Because that's going to take a couple of days.
Could take.
I'm at 2, and I need to get back up to 14.
But with 1 day, the cleric can heal you.
Yeah.
Me, but then not everybody else. Depends on how good his D8 rolls are, I guess.
Yeah.
The last couple weren't very high, but
I rolled a 1 for that potion.
yeah.
The gods are fickle sometimes.
So let's spend the night and then get some healing in the morning, and then see what we want to do after that healing.
Yeah.
Sounds good enough.
Turgo, were you injured?
No.
Of course not. Lynx?
I got full health from the last.
Turgo comes in and he's like, "What is all this nonsense about the casualties and everything? I'm doing.
You guys
fine."
ready or what?
I'm gonna let you shovel snow. I'm gonna put you on snow shoveling, dude.
Chopping some firewood
Between here and the privy.
That night, the party regales you with their song of welcome for new adventurers. You're going home in a body bag. Doo-da, doo-da. All right. So night settles in. Those of you who need to bind your wounds and rest and memorize spells may. And despite, or rather, with the blessing of the gods, nothing comes looking for you and knocking at your door over the course of the evening. And the morning dawns. It is, let's see, what is the weather like?
cold and dreary.
Cold and
Hurricane.
dreary.
Like
Cold
sharpen my
and
greatsword.
dreary.
Balmy and 80 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you're not in the Florida region of Greyhawk.
Global warming hasn't hit yet.
All right. It is now readying, by the way. It is the beginning of readying, so it's actually started to warm up somewhat. It is the low is only 15, but the high is 33. Well, that's not enough for snow to light on the ground. So
Yay, mud.
yeah.
Cold mud.
One of Valorix's first healings is going to be on Alice for 4 points.
Okay. Depending on when you bound her wounds, that may be enough to get her above 0. But regardless, she will be unconscious until she has a chance to rest.
Okay. And my second healing attempt only gives you 2, Sir Average.
Oh, well.
Below average.
It
And
happens.
the third one gives you 4. So we'll be here for another day or 2.
All right. And everyone, remember, you're resting in a warm, dry place.
So we get what?
So you do get 1 from rest.
Back up to 9.
Yay. Where's Gina at as far as health?
I have 1 more hit point, so don't worry
One
about
more
me.
day,
I'll be
you'll
fine.
fine.
I'll be fine the next day.
Okay. So you spend a night there in the marshes near Castle Greyhawk in a rather conspicuous building. So it asks the question, does anything come investigating the building?
Nah.
Let's find out.
It's just going to be another troll. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Let us find out. And for both our audience and our players, I hope you guys are enjoying tonight's AD&D live stream. I'm certainly having a lot of fun with it. So you are in Marsh? The day passes uneventfully. You are almost feeling comfortable and warm and like, yeah, this is just a normal place and not within a few bow shots of one of the strangest nightmare wonderlands in all of Greyhawk. A castle from which this vast swath of the Flayanus gains its name. All right. So a day has passed. Are you casting more healing, or are you guys going out to adventure the next morning?
We're going to go ahead and heal the dwarf up because he's in rough shape. So,
all right. Go ahead, roll.
Hey, 6 points.
All right, I'm good.
Okay. I've got 2 left.
2 more Cure Light Wound spells.
Yeah.
What will you do, adventurers?
Should we go back now?
And how long will it be before our followers are up and moving? Can we, if it's going to be like tomorrow, can we,
Specifically Leo and Nurm that have been down for the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo and Nurm have been down for a few days. Alice has only had a day and a half really to rest. Leo and Nurm can probably venture with you tomorrow.
You want to just wait until tomorrow?
Fine with me.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check for lots of traps. They're having plenty of time to set them up.
Well, they were going to have them anyway.
Or plenty of time for them to just take everything they have and leave, and we'll end it. We'll find an empty spot.
I mean, we got what we want either
We
way.
can check real fast. Just go down, and as soon as we see anything, nope, back up.
Have fun with that.
I wasn't volunteering me. Somebody else could do that.
Turgo's sneaky. Yeah, I guess we should wait till next time.
Yeah. All right, we're waiting until tomorrow.
I don't like it, but it does make sense, sadly.
All right.
Should I take another healing spell or take bless this time, just in case we encounter something?
How many people does bless work on?
Bless.
Works in
Bless is
It takes a while to cast.
Yeah.
It's like one round.
so bless takes a round. The area of effect is 50 feet by 50 feet, 5 inches by 5 inches. Raises morale of friendly creatures by +1. Furthermore, it raises their 2 hit by +1.
Yeah.
You can reverse it to curse and lower morale and 2 hit of enemies by -1.
Mm-hmm.
And the range is up to 60 feet or 6 inches.
I mean, bless is worth it.
I know that healing spell will get used, though.
That's
Mhm.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and take healing then.
Alrighty. And I would point out that what a lot of parties don't think of is so-called buff spells, quote unquote. Bless is like silence or light or anything else. It is an area of effect.
Mhm.
If you move out of it, you're no longer blessed. It's you don't get a roaming bless spell on you.
Never thought of it that way. I thought it
Yes.
was everyone who's in the gets blessed, and they can leave.
And then they can move out. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting to know.
Yeah. You're right.
Shall
I
we
didn't.
go?
Yeah.
Shall we go back now that Leo and Nerm are up?
Works
Okay.
for me.
Yep.
I will leave my hirelings behind to watch the place and watch Alice.
And Leo and Nerm will be in the second rank with spears.
Yeah.
Because that way they can reach over our heads.
Alrighty. So you return to the castle. You climb back down the cistern. I'm not putting the camera on yet because I don't have it in place. The entryway to the Orcs' lair, there is a door fixed there now. It doesn't take a dwarf to know that this has been a recent addition.
I'm going to point it out anyway.
Hey, look, a new door.
New construction.
No solicitors.
I finally get to use this ability. Shut up. Let me have this.
And the door, it's banded with iron. Looks very solid. Very, very solid.
You know, we could investigate a different area and just let them think we've gone and left them alone for like 2 weeks.
We could.
Yeah.
There
It's possible.
are.
We know there's
There
hobgoblins
is
to the south.
a-
Yeah, hobgoblins to the south.
Hobgoblins to the south. A room with a collapsed wall that looks like it opens into caves to the west, and a corridor to the north.
So, guys, hear me out. When we get back to the city, how about I buy some bear traps?
Hey.
Just for this region.
I'm
Just
down.
for this reason. Because, like, if the orcs come out of their corridor, they have to navigate the bear traps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can't really hide them very well, but that don't matter.
I think if we at least sorry, I'm talking about what to do right now versus shopping trips that we're not on. If we at least investigate some of these other corridors, these other openings, we've done something successful today.
Yeah.
We know there's hobgoblins to the south. That would probably be another layer that we may not be prepared for. But at least taking a peek to the north or to the west, perhaps put Leo and Nerm in the back, watching our backs. And so they can at least yell when
They die.
show up. Yeah. Again, the early warning system.
Hmm.
The non-cave direction sounds like it'd have more treasure.
North.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
Alrighty, let's move that camera around.
And I assume the hostages that were in the pit, they're gone.
You have no idea that there's a door now in front of the orcs there.
I guess, yeah, let's go ahead and move Leo and Nerm to the back.
Yeah.
I like them being in the second rank. It's why they have spears, but yeah.
All right, let's see now. Is my camera going to behave itself? There we go. Hang on a second. That's not right. It's not right at all. There we go. That's more like it. Say it was still showing the last image.
Turgo, will you go in front and make sure we're not surprised or fall into traps?
Certainly.
I am definitely going to be much more cautious.
Okay, and is Turgo doing his 40 feet ahead of the party?
Yes, please. And
okay.
Attempting, to move silently. Paying
right.
as careful attention to the floor and ceiling as possible.
Sure. Alrighty. You are like a leaf in the wind. Watch me
blow over.
Dead.
So
leaf meat match.
Turgo reaches right here in the corridor. Move your miniature back a little bit. Damn it.
Another pit trap?
No. Not at all. Come on. That was supposed to be really cool.
Can't see.
Turgo reaches that point in the corridor, and there is a click, and bricks fall in on you from either side.
Rocks fall. Everyone does.
Rocks fall. Well, not everyone. Oh, come on. Turgo, you take 2 points from falling here.
Woo!
Thank you.
He falls over dead.
Fortunately, I rolled well.
You know what that would be like.
All right. So Turgo, yeah, you hear an audible click. You jump to the right. There's another click, and then you jump back to the left, avoiding most of the bricks falling off of either wall at the same time. That's an actual working trap piece, but I kept hitting it with my big, stupid, meaty balloon hands there. So, but you round the corner, and there is a portcullis, as you can see on screen there. Walking over to the portcullis, the room beyond is well lit. There is a human fellow who comes over. He's got he's black haired, black mustachioed. He's wearing leather armor with a red sort of motif worked into it, red and black. And he looks and says, "Hey, my friend, are you okay? You know that hallway is not very safe."
I see that.
Come over here, closer, so I can see you.
I'm going to motion back to the guys. I'm going to stay put and watch him warily.
Was that a motion of stay back or a motion of come over?
Run away.
Good point. Come over. I assume we've got the hand signals worked out.
Is it
He
clear?
said retreat, run.
He's doing this.
Don't do that.
This and I anyway.
Yeah, I'll come over.
All right.
I'll back him up.
Jaden comes up to where Turbo is, but doesn't go
Okay.
further.
All right, so there's this cheery fellow, medium build. He's, looking at his nails, not really doesn't seem aggressive or upset or anything like that. Just kind of leaning against the side of the archway that the portcullis is in. Oh, there's more than one of you. Well, good to see you all. What are you doing in such a terrible state out there? Sorry about the hallway. We've been trying to have that fixed, but, well, you know how it is. It's a dungeon. Is there something I can do for you that you have come up to our front gate here?
Have you seen Ira?
Ira?
Ira.
I don't know any Ira.
Small, fat-looking guy, wings, flabby skin, kind of sallow. Looks like he needs both a diet and a makeover, kind of all at the same time.
No, I'm not familiar with anybody that looks like that. This is a pretty weird place, though. I can imagine you've seen somebody like that, but not here. Hey, are you the fellows making all the noise with the orcs?
Only a little.
Yes.
Just a
The
little.
orcs made most of those noises.
Well, they do tend to get pretty riled up. What can I do for you?
Yeah, you said this was a front door. A front door to what?
Well, it's a door. I shouldn't call it the front door. Oh, and this is our place.
And what is that place?
It's the place where me and my fellows are at. Do you wish to join us?
I mean, what is your line of work? What is your profession?
Oh, well, we do a little bit of everything, Sometimes we go out and we do what you do. We stir up trouble with the orcs and with the hobgoblins. Sometimes we go out in the country and we find folks who are less fortunate and help carry their burdens.
Away from them, you mean?
It's a matter of semantics.
I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you, sir. I'm going to just turn around and walk away.
We haven't seen you before. You must have other exits.
Yeah, well, we might. It could be.
Do you know anything about what's to the west from the cistern?
I don't know. Caves, I think, maybe.
You've never gone to look?
No, got all we need in here. I mean, most of what we need in here. It's very hard to entice the ladies to come down here. But occasionally, I guess it depends on your standards. Most of the time, we go to Greyhawk. Some of the more hoity-toity members of the band, they like to go all the way to Verbal or Divers even. Me, I'm not particular. I'll take a God's Day right to Greyhawk. You know how it is.
I think we should leave these gentlemen to their business for now.
We're clearly interrupting something.
Yes.
No, you're not interrupting me. All I had to do is sit here and watch the portcullis. It is nothing on me. Occasionally, some folks come down here and they want to join up, and they say, "Oh, let me in. I'm a mighty warrior." And I will say, "Oh, come in, and we'll try you out." And they join, and some don't. Some get a little pushy and a little mouthy, and they don't come back out.
Yeah.
But I can see you're very fine fellows, and if you're giving the orcs problems, I'm okay with that. So best of luck, and if you change your minds and you want to come back and join up with us, well, I'll see you then.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
What's your name?
No, my name, I'm Carlos.
Carlos. Okay.
Oh, I know a Carlos. He's back at Greyhawk.
Oh, really?
Carlos's fortress to the north.
Oh, no, it's not my fortress.
You didn't deny that it was a fortress. That's the important point we're taking away.
Well,
Really good interrogation there, Lynx. Really good interrogation.
Steve and Chad.
Now, what you could make out in this room beyond him there is there was a table, Chianti bottle with a candle stuck in it, but also torches, Chianti bottle without a candle stuck in it, and a silver cup sitting next to that, some crates, odds and ends, and behind him in a niche was a door. And to his right, that is to the west, it looked like there was a corridor with a door in front of it. So
there's probably more orcs behind those doors. We don't want anything to do with them.
Did you say that out loud?
No.
I was going to say, Carlos will take umbrage with that.
I assume we've left too.
All right.
Yeah, let's go back to the main cistern, and I guess we'll go to the west. Let's go investigate at the very least.
Okay, I can legitimately not have to worry about setting out Dwarfen Forge for this, because when I drew the map to the west, it's just impossibly twisty caves. But to the west, initially at least, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Let me bring that up to the...
We have a big room.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, a 30 by 30 foot room?
Giant hand coming towards you. So this is a 30 by 30 room. The westernmost wall is collapsed, and beyond it, you can see what looks like natural formations. The wall appears to have collapsed inward, at least somewhat, because in the middle of the room, let me see if I can hear, there is a huge puddle, and you can see mounds of wet sand reaching its surface in places. To the north, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that here, there is a door.
Ah, good. Good.
There is a layer of mud it's really more wet sand than sticky, tarry mud, but it's a few inches deep, covering the entire floor, in addition to the wet sand in the puddle.
Any footprints before we disturb it?
No, you don't see anything remarkable.
The door isn't moved. No trough from.
No.
Can we tell where the water and the dirt, mud is coming from?
No, you can't.
Just settled in here.
It's just settled in. It's not like dripping from the ceiling or running in from someplace.
Maybe have one of the hirelings poke at the floor a bit with one of their spears, see if it reacts.
It makes kind of a sandy sort of skinching sound when he prods his spear into it, but otherwise, no, it does not.
Anything on the ceilings?
Turgo door.
Yeah, I'll look up just to make sure that I don't see anything on the ceilings, and I'll carefully round that corner there to the door.
Alrighty, so the ceiling is it's bare stone. It's the same rock as everywhere else you've seen so far in your brief time here. There are slight arches that have been built up to support it.
All right, I'm gonna make my way up to the door there.
All right,
watching it carefully as I approach.
Okay, the door doesn't do anything extraordinary as you approach it.
Okay, I'll move up to it and listen at it.
All right.
Bite your head.
Ear seekers.
You don't hear anything.
Okay, I'll motion for the party to move forward. and I'll get out of the way of the door by a couple feet.
Alrighty.
As we enter, I'm sure our torchlight goes a little bit further. Do we see anything past the collapsed wall? Like, is it just a natural cave back there?
It is a natural cave, but you see openings beyond it.
Who wants to open the door?
I
step to the side.
I successfully open the door, provided it's not barred or, explodes in my face.
It does take you a great deal of effort to drag the door open. I mean, like, by the time it's a foot open, you now realize that it's more than just a couple of inches. The floor must be at least 6 inches deep in soil. So by the time you've dragged the door open, maybe 10 inches or a foot, you've pushed up 50, 60 pounds of wet sand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just getting heavier the more you push it open. A gust of cold, fetid air rolls out of the room. But you do have it open now, and you can see inside. And inside this chamber, which I apologize for not having the scatter terrain down, there are a few large clay jars, painted clay jars, stacked up in the far northwest corner of the room.
Anything else?
Other than a thinner layer of wet sand in here, no.
Okay, Jenan, can you give me a hand with this door?
To open it more?
Yeah, if we can pile enough sand in front of it to counteract the sand pushing against it, it'll help.
We can also clear some of the sand behind it.
Mm-hmm. But none of us have a shovel, and you ain't using my helmet.
Hands.
Could use a shield.
Yeah.
I got a shield. I can start scraping stuff out with a shield.
If you've got a shield, you have a shovel. Go for it.
Indeed.
Just so we can get the door open further.
Scoop.
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me just a second, guys.
Random encounter time.
Or not so random.
That's when the 4, ghosts come out of the urns. And...
Yeah.
That's where Carlos keeps his phylactery.
I warned you. I tried to be nice. I told you not to bother us. Okay. So you're checking you're piling up the sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To stop the door from slamming. That's easy enough to do. You scrape up enough that you've got a considerable pile there in no time at all.
Is the plan we're going to go in and check out those clay
Yeah,
jars?
just grab the urns and we can take them out with us. We can open them in the fresh light of day.
Wow. Okay. So,
Could the urns be trapped in some fashion?
I just heard grabbing the urns
or the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
The urns are exceptionally heavy. They're clay outside, but just at a glance, and the dwarf, this construction style, it is clay. It's washed inside with lead for strength. These things are heavy. And as you're examining them, sort of prizing them up from the wet sand, you notice a couple of things. One, it is freezing cold around them. And two, the shadows from the flickering of torches and whatnot are not yours. Initially, they're following the motions of the of what you're doing, but they kind of fall out of sync. And you're like, and then you stop, but the hand keeps waving for a half a beat.
Leaving now.
Okay. Are you taking
the jar back down?
No. Yeah. No. Jar, stay put.
Okay, let's. You're not surprised by this, so
we're gonna come back with a daylight spell.
We do get a
lantern. Would that help?
No, we need like a full light spell.
Okay.
Don't
have any of that. Sorry.
So we do get a standard initiative roll, and we'll start back with Turgo, since I'm sure Turgo wants to do something. But going around the table before you roll, what is Turgo doing?
I'm going to back out into the round room.
What is Lynx doing?
You're muted.
Backing out to the round room.
All right. Valoric and Bajibus?
Valoric is pulling out his holy symbol and pulling out his short sword with his other hand and slowly backing out into the round room.
Okay. Mark, what is Jenan doing?
Okay. He's getting out of the small room into the larger room with the collapsed wall.
Okay.
He's not going to go all the way out to the circular room just yet.
Okay, and so we know what Average is doing. So Doomsword, go ahead and roll initiative.
5.
Nice.
Okay, the party goes first. Those of you that are falling back are falling back. Now, is Valoric trying to turn?
I guess, yeah. Does he recognize what they are?
These are shadows.
I don't think I've got anything to cover that, do I?
I don't think they're undead. Are they? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they.
Okay, I could possibly. I guess I'll go ahead and try to turn them.
All right, roll it.
It's a slim chance, but why not?
It's a slim chance, but take the shot.
Oh, dang it, 17.
I guess
they hesitate for a moment. They see that holy symbol come out, and you can see they kind of jerk back, but they're starting to they're starting to glide forward again after that moment's hesitation. Dry, cold laughter, and there appear to be 3 of these things. So 3 shadows. Turgo tries to turn. The rest of the party is falling back. I'm sorry, not Turgo. Valoric tries to turn. The rest of the party is falling back. And I understand, Valoric, you're, walking backwards as you're holding your holy symbol up. Maybe if you'd stood your ground. Maybe your faith would have been stronger. Maybe if you believed in God a little bit more instead of running like a scaredy boy coward. All right, so do you guys want to see where you're? I think that would be a good idea if we had an idea of where everyone was at.
I think we're just gonna flee to the out of the dungeon section of the dungeon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're currently at. Some folks are standing their ground in the main chamber of this little 2-room suite here, and the rest of you are falling back to the cistern. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The shadows glide out, and they're whispering sibilantly as they move forward. Join us. Accept our cold embrace. Stay underground. Stay in the dark. Join us. Sleep forever. We hunger for warmth, Join our eternal quest to slake our hunger.
Have a cup of coffee. Cheer up. Get some vitamin D. You need more sun.
All right, so they are following you as you fall back, and they are lunging forward. So have I got that right? Is that Valoric, Bejeebus, and Genin who are holding fast in the room just outside the Shadows chamber?
Yep.
Bejeebus was moving out into the circular chamber.
Okay.
Can you cure them to death? No, that's a genuine question.
I think I can.
Now, interestingly, undead, you can use raise dead and resurrection against them as an offensive attack. It does work. They don't like it, but it does work. I thought it'd be fun as like an ultra high level cleric to go around casting resurrection, like just on common skeletons. You know. Thank you. What a horrible nightmare! Finally, after thousands of years, I live again. All right.
Valoric is going to pull out one of the vials of holy water that he's got in his pouch. He's got 4 of them.
Okay.
And he's going to hold it up and tell them to stay back, foul fiends.
They chuckle dryly, and one of them lunges forward. Its shadowy hand passes through your shield, Genin, and into you. And you feel it clutch. You feel freezing cold, like your extremities begin to numb. It's awful. It's horrible. It's 2 points of damage. Also 1 point of strength.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. What happens with exceptional? Does it just drop down from 18 something to 17?
It drops down from 18 something to 18.
Okay.
And then 18 to 17 to 16 and so
Gotcha.
on. So only one of them hit. They are not heeding your warning about the flask of holy water.
Okay.
And they are swirling around you now. Those of you out in the cistern are climbing up, correct?
Correct.
All right. Those of you staying in the room.
Oh, I wasn't going to stay any longer.
Oh,
I'm backing
okay.
out.
All right, so you're going to move out. I know what the shadow that's facing you is going to do. What about Valoric?
He's backing out along with Genin, and he's going to take a splash with that holy water at them.
Okay, you're going to have to roll initiative then.
Okay.
This is for you and for Genin.
3.
All right, shadows go first. This is against Valoric. Let's see.
He's got AC 4.
Yeah, these things have they are higher hit dice, but that is still not enough. And Genin's armor class?
1.
Damn, okay.
And I'll be parrying if possible. So.
And also no hit on Genin, so now you can throw your holy water.
Ooh, a 20. Yes.
A 20, that is a direct hit. Roll your damage.
What is the damage on that?
It is 2 to 7 versus undead creature, so 1d6 plus 1.
Okay. 6 total.
Cool. Wow. Okay. Your holy water splashes on this thing and it boils away into nothingness with a blood-curdling scream.
Okay. I'll be holding
That's
up
a
my
kill.
holy symbol.
Okay.
In the name of Celestian, back!
All right.
It's a shame undead don't feel fear.
You should keep standing your ground. That's working.
So, question: do you have any more holy water? I'm just the DM is
I've
curious.
got 3 more vials.
Okay, well you might need it because they are angry and they are lunging forward at you.
Okay.
Praise the Lord and pass the holy water.
So
Drink it so they can't hurt you.
Bathe in it.
Put all over himself.
I'm beginning to think they don't understand how holy water works. All right. So throwing your holy water was the action.
Yeah.
What are you doing in the next round?
Still backing out, but I'm going to throw another dash of it on.
You're either going to throw holy water or you're going to back out.
Okay, I'm going to throw holy water.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Nice to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4.
Geenan was going up.
Okay. You go first. Roll to hit. You're throwing another vial of holy water.
16.
Hang on. No, it is not. It is not fucking 16. Roll your damage.
Total
on,
of
roll
5.
big.
A total of what?
5.
You destroy another shadow.
He's going to solo this encounter.
Yeah, he's going to get an XP for
Go on,
this.
James. Do it. You can do it.
Holding up that holy symbol and screaming Celestian's name in his face.
Okay. Well, it gets its attack.
Oh.
It misses.
Ah.
Are you turning to run or are you standing your ground? Roll initiative.
Here.
Oh,
Ooh, a 5 this time.
Well, that's nice for you. It rakes its ethereal claws down your face. It does.
Oh boy.
4 points of damage, and you lose a point of strength.
Okay.
You know, splash it. Try and splash it with holy water.
Oh yeah.
oh, fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 15.
15. Let's
Yeah.
see. 15. Cleric 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Armor class
Cleric
5.
1. You hit it.
Armor class 5.
3 points.
You have any more holy water?
I got one last vial.
Okay. It's like you can see like holes torn in its shadowy form. That is these things are multiple hit dice monsters, and I have rolled absolutely the most abysmally bad hit points for them. But it's still up. It's still there. Roll initiative.
Okay. 2.
It is a tie.
Oh boy.
But missile will go before its physical attack.
Here we go. 15.
That hits. Roll well.
6 points.
That's it.
Wow.
It boils away.
And Valoric's like, see, guys, I can do it. And there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Above it.
One of the orcs has come out of the room going, hey, good job.
Sir Everett will start climbing back down the rope.
All right. You guys have no idea what's going on. You've absealed your way out of the dungeon. Valoric is not coming. Valoric, you are the chill touch of the shadow numbed you somewhat. It will be a while before your full strength is realized, but they are dead, and their treasure is yours.
Okay. Head back into that chamber. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but no, after, like, if I don't see you following, I would go back down.
Okay.
If only just to recover your corpse.
Many days later.
No, within about 5 minutes, and just be like, oh, wait, shit, you're alive? Okay, cool.
We're all up at the top of the cistern going, Valoric was a good guy. And we hear Valoric down there going, hey, guys.
Back.
I don't believe that. Those were the weakest shadows.
That's why you buy holy water.
I mean, that is, to be fair, that's a planned encounter. You guys, I just, years ago when I designed my Castle Greyhawk, I said there's going to be shadows in this room, and it's going to be a small number, so it's not a TPK for first level parties, but it's going to be tough. But I had forgotten what I'd rolled for them for hit points, so I did it on the fly just now. And this hit die was a shit die.
To the
Seemed good to
punishment
me.
chamber.
So So yes, you have these great clay jars now with their leaden stoppers in the top.
Well, I'm interested to see what almost killed us and then didn't.
I'm interested as well, but I'm going to stay outside the small room while Lynx investigates. You know, protecting the rear of the room.
Rear
go help
observation.
Lynx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Gina has become very, very cautious in just the last couple days.
Yeah, I'll open one. I'll open it with if I can kind of poke off its top without smashing it.
Sure. Yeah, you have to pry off the lead seal, but you're able to get it off. This thing is almost as big around as you are and almost as tall as you are. This is not a little amphora that you can just pick up. This is a big
Amphora.
jug. Yeah, it's a big amphora. It's an amphora theater. By the light of your torch, you see gold coins almost up to the top.
It's empty, guys. We should just leave this.
Yeah, I just want this to decorate my house with. I'll drag it out. Don't worry about carrying it. You can't by yourself. You can't budge that one. By the way, there is a slightly smaller one next to it that is also sealed.
Can I budge that one?
Well, let me see here.
I have an 18. I apparently have an 18 double lot. So
Gene was even with just an 18 strength, he can probably still get a lot of that stuff. He's got sacks and backpack ready to take on stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you getting the coins out, or are you just moving the jug?
How much would it can I move jug and all?
Jug and all. Let me see.
Well,
Just like for the sake of expediency.
Let me see. I need
What's your thought, Lord Corian?
I was gonna say I got a extra rope. We could haul these up if we can move them.
Yeah,
that way.
Like if I can just pick them up and get them into the middle of the cistern, we can haul them up.
It's going to take all of you to pick up the largest one. The smaller one is easy.
Okay.
The smaller one is, even with a jug, is maybe only 30 or 40 pounds.
Well, that one we take up whole then.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the big one with all the gold in it. And there's a medium one then, or
well, no, there are two medium ones, and then there's the giant one.
Oh,
Okay, so we just take the medium ones.
And whatever we can take out of the giant one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just dump it. Just dump the big one and
Yeah, take what we can out of it.
Well, if you wish to spend a couple of turns counting, there are 8,000 gold pieces in the large one. That is 800 pounds.
Right away.
The men-at-arms will happily carry some of that out for you.
Yeah.
but we'll
Put
make
it in my pack, sir. I can carry more.
we'll make it clear that that's not the cut they're getting, but yes, they will help.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, and did you unstopper the other two or not?
Just
Do
take
We're
them.
gonna wait until we get up to the top, so we can.
Just take them.
Yeah, just take them up and check them when we're in the open air. I think would be best.
Yeah.
Yeah, time is a precious commodity down here.
Mm-hmm.
So you will all be encumbered, but most of you, many of you will be encumbered, but I will tell you this: if you distribute the coins out amongst you, you can carry the 8,000 coins out, because that would be 125 pounds basically of coins each.
Yeah.
So anyone without an extraordinary strength or a very high strength, you will be very much encumbered, but you can carry it. Those of you with extraordinary strength, it's just a bit more of a burden. The two smaller, the actual amphora-sized ones, you're just carrying those out with you?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're lifting him up with a rope. Yeah.
Okay.
Pull them up after we get out.
All right. You work at this for the better part of an hour, and nothing attacks you.
Wonderful.
Nice.
And you manage to get out into the daylight. And you guys complain about the 15-minute adventuring day. But you have it now. You have a you have a large amount of gold, and you have a large amount of whatever is in these other jugs.
Shall we open the two other ones now?
Do we want to get back to
back to
the
the
longhouse?
Yeah, let's get back to the longhouse and open it up nearby there.
Okay.
All right. So it is a weary trudge back to the longhouse for those of you who do not have exceptional strength. And nothing attacks you on the way. And you're back at the longhouse now.
We're in the longhouse now.
They were down at the railroad track, stealing a bag of holding to haul it back.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, that's in the other jar.
Yeah.
Be nice.
um,
Give me a portable hole.
so you've got a.
I think we need to open these now. See what we got in there.
Who's going to volunteer to open them while everybody else stands back and watches?
Thanks.
Hey, I feel pretty lucky. Yeah, I found a whole bunch of gold the first time.
That's true.
I'll pry another one off. What do we get?
All right. In this one are coins of a very dark silver. You think it's platinum. You think it's a lot of platinum.
Awesome.
Okay.
Medieval mystery boxes.
Hello, Quicksave.
Yeah. Let's open up that other loot box now.
Mm-hmm.
I want a skin.
Custom camo.
Yeah, you can now put a Kool-Aid Man custom camo on your armor. See, I'm hip. I know how those work.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
On
That'll be my next character I roll.
So the other one has 11 gemstones in it.
Ooh.
Shiny rocks, shiny coins, gold coins.
How much platinum?
200 platinum pieces.
Okay. I think we could probably go back to Greyhawk now.
Yeah.
I
That
think,
seems
I
like
think
a
we
decent
should.
idea.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. So I think we're probably going to break here for the evening, and then pick up the journey back to Greyhawk next week. Yeah, congratulations, James. You soloed 3 shadows as a first level cleric, and
Nice.
to my utter heartbreak, managed to defeat all of them. I clearly need to make this a tougher adventure.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
You can't hurt shadows without magical weapons, right?
In melee combat, correct.
That's what I thought, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter ranged too. It's oh look, arrow goes right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Magical or silver, I think.
Or silver. Okay, that was it. Or silver.
I think it's silver. If
And
it
none
is,
of us,
I'm buying a bunch
none of us have
those.
those things. Yeah, we're going to buy silver weapons now.
Yeah.
Which always cracks me up when I see shadow encounters and modules, and it's like they guard 2,380 silver pieces. Why?
To keep other people from using them.
Yeah.
Actually,
Don't
yeah,
break into my house and steal my potassium cyanide.
we could have just been like flinging little coins at them.
I don't have enough silver for that.
using them as slingshots.
Yeah.
A shot for slings, rather.
That is a thought. I'm writing that down. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. It won't work, but you're welcome.
There's enough silver in that. It'll be fine.
Oh, he's just never sending shadows against us again.
It'll work with vampires too. It'll be fine.
Actually, it is magic weapons only for shadows. It's not silver. I was thinking of lycanthropes, but anyway. So there you go. You have a massive, massive haul of loot. Like I said, I now have to like completely separately calculate James's experience points going forward because Captain, I'm going to solo the shadows. Let me just for our wonderful valued audience's sake, and let's see, let's rotate this view here clockwise. Let's have a quick gander at what our contestant got this evening, folks. So the shadow of AD&D fame, which as much as Gary said, no, I didn't. The Lord of the Rings, what's that? No, shadows are ring wraiths.
Except for you can hurt ring wraiths with fire.
Let's see. You want me to send one of my ring wraiths after you so you can find out? All right.
Gotta get some more holy water.
Yeah, right.
Get a super soaker full of holy water.
Yeah.
So they're worth 255 XP each, plus the value of their hit points, which, as you proved, Captain, throw holy water at people, is actually not that much. It's not that much. I mean, 3d8 plus 3, and if you guys could have seen the number of crappy hit die rolls during that fight. And no, I normally calculate monster hit dice, not on the fly. I think that's a little ridiculous, but so it was a good fight. I hope you guys had fun. Where 3 potentially adventure-ending undead were just kind of, Valoric's just like, off me, It occurred to me I was making that gesture and not with the right camera on. But yeah, so good times, audience. I hope you guys enjoyed. Kyle and I will be back tomorrow night. We will be here at 7 o'clock Eastern, or is it 6 o'clock? I can never tell. He lives in the future. I'll just have to double check it. But we will be back tomorrow night. We will be taking questions and answering your questions and talking about Traveler and all sorts of fun stuff and fixing all the problems in the modern gaming world. And then Thursday night, you'll want to be here on Thursday night because we will have author and wargamer Michael C. will be in the house to talk about his book and to talk about wargaming. And then on Friday, for those of you who play Gamma World in this group, and I know there's at least one, we'll be playing some Gamma World on Friday. And won't that be fun? Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning into tonight's live stream. Thank you to my players for participating. It's always a lot of fun. And again, y'all be good to each other. Have an absolutely stellar day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.